Alright, this is the drone video for Tract 1 on the Niangua River at Riverside at the Niangua. We're looking easterly, so the land's actually on the right, but we're panning to the left to look at this cool house. It's kind of perched up on a cliff there. Beautiful newer home. Now looking to the west, the Niangua is just gorgeous in this spot. It is just an incredibly gorgeous river. Very, very popular river. On the right, you can see a trail that apparently was an old county road 100 years ago. And now we're looking southerly at the property there. There we go. So to the left, that's Ho Hum Resort. And straight ahead, basically everything you see on the top of the screen on the river is on the property. This has 400 feet. 400 feet of river frontage. Now toward the left, upper left of the screen, that's a pond. That's on the Ho Hum campground, just barely. The red truck is parked roughly in the center of the property. So we're flying southerly now. That's the bottom field, or what I would call the bottom field. And then as you keep looking south, you can see that grove of pine and cedar trees. I believe that's the building site that we walked to in the ground video, which should be out of the floodplain, which is pretty amazing. You can see some logs and debris and whatnot there. I believe 2 years ago there was a massive flood. It came through this bottom field and it kind of piled up some of that, so potential for some good firewood, I guess. Okay, so now we're heading southerly, and that is going to be the, well, I mean, there are many building sites on this property. It's 10 acres, but that potential one, it's already partially open. It's fairly level. It could be leveled out more. It's got some big timber around it, and you're very close to the river. You've actually got a view of the river. You could improve it with thinning out some of the timber. That's one of the great building sites. We're looking basically directly south. If you see right in the middle of the screen, that cleared line, now it's toward the left side of the screen. It runs south all the way to the county road. That's going to be just inside the property line. That's actually a trail we discovered that runs along the east side of Tract 1 and goes, well, I believe almost down to the river itself. At the bottom of the screen, you can see the little ravine, little valley area that's on the south side of the property, and then that's Marigold Drive right there. The property has direct frontage on Marigold. It's got about 90 feet of frontage. There's no driveway or culvert, but there are multiple ways to access the property. Although if you did want a driveway or a culvert, you could do that. A lot of local guys with equipment would be happy to do that for you. Or you can do it yourself. Really all you need is a little backhoe or a skid loader or whatnot. So as we look off on the other side of the river, that green area, that's the Barclay Conservation Area. Several hundred acres of land you can use. There's a great put-in spot for putting in your canoe, and you can float. I mean, you can see the float all the way down to your property on the Niangua. It's beautiful. This is one of the few areas in Missouri, in the country, where you can actually trout fish from your own property, rainbow trout and brown trout, in this particular section of river, because they raise the trout at Bennett Springs State Park. So now we're looking northerly. Toward the extreme right, you can see Ho Hum Campground. That's what those buildings are. And just to the left of that is going to be the east side of the property. So right here, if you look at the bottom of the screen, you can see Marigold, and you can see that road that comes in and curves to the left. That's the, I guess what you call the main entrance right now to these tracks. If you were to pull in and take a right and run along the edge of that field, stay with the field, it curves up to the left, and then curve to the right again. You can see a little trailer. See that rectangular trailer to the left of the screen, lower left corner now. Go right around that, and there is an existing trail that'll take you onto the property that way as well. So that gives you access more toward the middle of the property. It gets you across that valley area as well, which is pretty cool. You can see the maps to see some details on this.
It's 9:45.
So these tracks out here were logged within the last couple years. Certainly not clear cut, but there was some large timber that was ready to be cut, basically so old that it was starting to decline. So they logged that, left quite a bit, but you can see they didn't do any cleanup. And since it's been recent, and this is a wintertime video, you're going to see the tops, you're going to see the logs. Every year that's going to look better and better. And honestly, with this property being, this is not several thousand acres where it would take months to clean it up. With 10 acres, if you went in with a skid loader or a tractor with a bucket, you could clean this up in probably a week or two and have it looking like a park. And also, I'll mention that when springtime hits and the leaves come out on the trees, this is going to look awesome from the air and from the ground. But we love doing these drone videos in the winter because you can see everything on the property. So we're going right over the property, looking to the north. I don't know why we're going so quickly. Those pine trees you see to the left, pine and cedar trees. Look to the right, that's the pond that's on Ho Hump Campground. That comes up right almost to the property boundary. Okay, so now we're looking over one of the, what I would call premium building sites. Look straight ahead, you can see the red truck and then the river beyond that. So I mean, I like this site, and we haven't explored the whole property. There could be others that are better than this, but I like this site because it gets you close to the river, appears to be out of the floodplain, and it's private. It's got that timber around it. So you could clear the timber to the north going toward the river and still have your river view without looking at any of the neighbors. So that's pretty cool. You can see some logs down there that could be used for firewood or cleaned up. The meadow area is gorgeous, by the way. So we're looking westerly. I think what we did here was we decided just to take the drone and fly a little bit, check out the area. So we're off the property now. We're headed southwest. About to run into a tree. There we go. Got a little altitude. On the left side, you can see the guys are actually out there working on the road. This is a work in progress. But they are hard at it. Just we've had some unusually rainy weather out here, which has been slowing everybody down. Niangua River is just gorgeous. This section in particular, it's unbelievable. I mean, do your own research, obviously, to verify whatever you like, but I think this is, in our minds, one of the most popular sections on one of the most popular rivers in Missouri. I mean, this is where it's at, man. Even without the trout fishing, the outfitters, the canoe rental places. I mean, this is the stretch of river where people like to go and hang out. So in the summertime, you're going to have canoes and kayaks and whatnot. Pretty cool. But that being said, with your property being 10 acres, you can go a few hundred feet back onto your property and kind of be by yourself at the same time. So you get the best of both worlds. If you look across the river, that field is the Barclay Conservation Area. Actually, it encompasses quite a bit more than that field. But that's a nice spot to pop your canoe in, float down to your property. We're looking at the easement road. There's the meadow, the upper meadow. And as we pan to the east, you can see the property. It's toward the end of the open meadow here. Several small and large, I guess, outfitters in the area. On the left, I think that's Maggard's Canoe Rental. That could be One-Eyed Willie's. And I'm also told that's where the town of Corkery used to be located. If you look actually just downriver from this property, a few hundred feet downriver, you can see some massive concrete pylons in the water. That was scheduled to be a bridge, I don't know, 100 years ago. And they built the pylons, and then something happened to the funding, and they never completed the bridge. And so the town of Corkery, which needed that bridge so people could come and go, kind of dwindled out after that. So on the right side, further up, is the property, and we're headed that way. But look at that river. Stunning, just a stunning river. Oh my gosh. This flows north and helps create the Lake of the Ozarks. It's a clear river. Oh, I remember this. We saw a guy in a raft, and we went to kind of see what he was up to. This is a wintertime video, or very, very early spring. No trees on the leaves. Trees on the leaves. No leaves on the trees. But it was 80 degrees that day. So this guy, I think he was out there fishing. we were really curious to get in close on him, but didn't really want to bug him with the drone either, so I don't think we got too close. But yeah, he's fishing there. Looks like he's fishing for trout. Oh yeah. Oh, that is cool. Very cool. Doing that special casting for trout. Fly fishing. I think there's a name for that casting. I don't know what it is. But yeah, if you're a trout fisherman, you're excited. That little, you can see in the river there toward the bottom, there's a miniature section of rapids. That's actually shown on one of the maps. It's nothing fierce like the Colorado River, but it's just kind of cool to have those little miniature white caps in about that 100-foot section there. So now looking at the property, I mean, this is just, yeah, we're super pumped about this. If you have any questions, let us know. If you go to InstantAcres.com, you can see if the tract is available or not. If you see it, it's available. If you don't, then unfortunately it's not. Very, very limited number of these. And I hate to say I prefer any one over the others, but this is a pretty darn amazing property, this tract 1. Give us a call or shoot us an email at sales@instantacres.com, and definitely check out our website at www.instantacres.com.